So, boys, today we're going to be covering another topic when it comes to watching pornography. That porn kills your mental health. And let me maybe put this in a better way. Can I put this shit by the way? Okay, whatever. Uh, Let me use something more visible. Well, today we're going to be covering those 6 points that I had, and probably many of you guys had those downside, that you was overthinking everything, your confidence, self-respect were not existent, talking with people was non-existent, and you were anxious all the time. You probably had those symptoms, down bad symptoms of watching pornography. But today I'm going to cover this from my perspective. You're probably wondering what is a pizza story, but I will tell you, don't worry. It's not that I was a fucking pizza, don't worry. I wasn't that down bad. But yeah. So my name is Christian. My goal is to help young guys get rid of their porn addiction and also improve their lives through self-improvement. If you like what you are seeing right now, go ahead and leave a like or dislike if you want to. Some opinion about this video and also subscribe with a notification. And if you're a young guy who tries to quit watching pornography, you have a guide in the description. Yes, you have to pay for it, but I believe, and I know that this is going to help you. And also my Instagram is in the description if you want to see more of my life. But yeah, that's it from the intro. So let's cover this. So point one is how porn was killing my mental health. I was literally overthinking everything, and I believe that all of those points, maybe from all of those points, if I was not addicted to pornography, I wouldn't even be talking about them, right? Because when I was a before I got addicted, I was really I was really a kind of a I would say confident kid. I didn't have problems with it. I was a really like not maybe the loudest, but I didn't have problems with all of those things, right? When I was a kid before I got addicted, I didn't have problems with all those things. I was doing what I want and I was just a kid, right? But when I got addicted, all of those points came, right? And it's not that pornography, it is the only reason that, porn made me overthink everything. Porn made me think that I was anxious all the time. It's not only porn, but also the things that I was doing on a daily basis. So again, not only porn made me, those all of those stuff, all those 5 points, but also my shit lifestyle, my shit diet, basically non-existent activities, not hobbies, literally my shit habits, my shit mental health, not exercising at all, not being active. Porn was one of the reasons why I'm talking about this, right? Because I was overthinking because not only I was a porn addict, but also I was playing a lot of video games and I was also kind of chubby and I was skinny fat. I was not exercising. But yeah, I was literally overthinking everything. I was literally overthinking everything. Not because I was also addicted for pornography, but also because how I looked, right? I was skinny fat all of my life, basically. Well, maybe not all of my life. When I was a kid, I was really active, but maybe 15, 16, right? Something like this, up to 17, right? I really was a not looking guy. I was not good looking guy, I know. I was literally overthinking everything. What others are thinking about me. Do I look good? I was just like in this point, I was just anxious all the time. All those points, like those 2 points, I'm literally covering them as I speak right now. I was literally overthinking everything. Does this person, does this person think good about me? Do I look good? I was just constantly in my head and not in the present moment because I could not focus. Porn was, porn was one of the reasons why I was overthinking everything. Also, what was the reason is my shit habits, as I said, my non-existent physical activity, my shit mental health. Porn was only one of the reasons. I could have write, porn, lack of physical activity and so on kills your mental health because yeah, it is. But porn, I think, kills it the most. I was literally overthinking everything. I had problems with I will tell you this pizza story, right? So I'm literally covering those 2 points as I speak. I was anxious all the time. I had some problem focusing, overthinking everything. You know, when I was going to school, for example, when I was going to school, right? And I even had problems with saying hi to some of my classmates, you know. I was anxious. I was not really confident at all. Really overthinking over analyzing every single bit, being anxious all the time. And porn was one of the reasons why I was anxious nearly all the time, and why I was overthinking and why I was overthinking everything. So this is this first point that we covered, and maybe another. Okay. I was anxious nearly all the time. So I was basically covering this in the first point, but anxious about literally everything, worrying about the things that at the grand scheme of things don't even matter. I still, I can tell you that I still have some of those overthinking and anxious habits with me, but I try to literally destroy them. So I still kind of struggle with it. It's not as bad with overthinking and anxiousness as it was, but I still kind of struggle with it. But don't worry, it's still better than it was. Literally anxious about everything, worrying about the things that are not going to happen, or if they are going to happen, it's not going to have the same consequences. Like I remember that when I was on this camp, right, and I only had my like ID from our country, but I didn't have like this student ID, you know, when you go to school and you have the student ID with plastic or paper, whatever. I didn't have this, right? And I was conscious all the time. I was not conscious all the time, but I was pretty anxious about it. What if they're going to ask for it? But in reality, they didn't even fucking ask for it. You know, the people that were organizing this camp from my university. And this is something that's kind of stayed with me, this overthinking and this anxiousness. But as I said, don't worry, I will get rid of this. So, you know, and anxiousness, like if anxiousness in that type, if people know that I watched porn, because I believe that people knew that I was watching porn, but they didn't set this in my face because of my how I looked at them, because how I was behaving, right? I think that I knew that I was a gunner and I was a fapper. I think people knew that I was watching porn. I think my mom knew that I was watching porn, but she didn't say everything. I think that my classmates, some guys, some people that I know, I think they knew that I was watching porn, but I didn't say everything. So I also was anxious about this. But right now I'm not because I don't watch porn. But yeah, what can I even say? Let's just, if you want more points for me to cover, you can add your points in the comments, whatever. Pizza story. So this was not me, you know, taking a pizza, making a hole in a pizza, just putting my dick in it. No, it's not that. I wasn't that down bad. But pizza story is I remember when my mom wanted me to order a pizza, right? And I had a problem with ordering this because I was literally writing on a maybe not okay, I'm lying right here, but I was literally on the verge of writing on the paper, right? What what am I going to say? Right? I was on the verge of doing this, but what I eventually was doing, it's still bad, that I was literally overthinking, like just constantly thinking about, you know, what do I need to say? What do I need to say? Okay, I'm going to order this and where this pizza should go, what address and whatever. I believe that this is why porn, this is the this is why porn made me porn created this, I think, this pizza story when I was on the verge of I didn't eventually I didn't eventually do this, but I was on the verge of writing on a piece of paper what should I tell to a person behind the phone. But what I've done is just created this fucking scenario in my head and was just overthinking and anxious what should I say. Um yeah, this is the pizza story, and I believe that porn was a fucking a catalyst for it. That I was just basically overthinking all the time, over analyzing everything and anxious. So this is the pizza story, just creating scenario in my head. What should I even tell to a person behind a phone? Point four, my confidence and self-respect were non-existent. So in simplest ways that I'm going to explain, how can you respect a guy who is jacking off to people that don't even know that you exist? How can you be confident and respect yourself when you watch this type of shit? You cannot. Those things. This is a fucking oxymoron, right? This is an oxymoron. I think I said it correctly. Whatever. There's just straight opposites. You cannot be confident and have self-respect for yourself and you watch porn. You cannot have those two. You cannot have those things. You cannot be confident when you watch porn. You cannot have self-respect for yourself when you watch porn. Because people were not respecting me because I was skinny fat. I didn't have any ambitions in life. I didn't have um um I had problems with communicating with people, saying fucking good morning to people. I even had problems with that because of this overthinking and anxiousness. So why people would respect me? I believe now that people respect me a lot more because they see that I managed to improve over those 2 years that I'm managed to found my purpose in life, that I improved my appearance, that I eat much healthier right now, that I eat much healthier than I used to. Just people respect me a lot more because people expect results, right? People have to see for themselves if this self-improvement stuff works. So you're just basically you have to be this physical representation of how why self-improvement works. And it fucking works. It's changed my life, saved my life. I'm very forever grateful for Hamza, for all of the self-improvement YouTubers. Because if it wasn't for them, I don't know where would I be right now. I would still be 20-year-old loser jacking off to some dumb bad shit. But yeah, my confidence and self-respect were non-existent. Because again, how could I respect myself if I was jacking off, if I was just cocking myself and being a loser? As simple as that. I don't think I even need to explain this anymore. My confidence went to shit. Last point. Talking with girls and people in general was fucking tough. When I even tried to talk to a girl, it wasn't in every case, right? But when I even tried to talk to a girl, like I had this fucking porn flashbacks in my head of a porn video that I watched. For it was not happening every time, but it happened most of the time. And it was fucking, and also I was pretty my social skills with girls were shit because with guys, when I was addicted to porn and talking with guys wasn't a problem, but with girls that was a fucking problem. So making saying some stupid shit, just making conversation awkward. It was not only with girls, but with people in general. I had problems even saying good morning to people. Like I was going through, I was going to the town center, right? Or maybe I went to the shop and just buy things, and I had problems saying good morning to people or good evening. Do you imagine? And and it's not only because of porn, but it's just because of my lack of self-respect, my lack of confidence, my lack of physical attraction, right? Just lack of basically everything. Anxiousness, overthinking. So porn, as I said, only was not the only thing that made me, you know, overthink everything, being anxious all the time, and with those confidence and self-respect. Porn was one of the reasons, but the key reasons. Because if I was not watching pornography, I think those things would still be there, right? But they wouldn't be as bad as if I was watching porn. I think you know what I mean, right? If I was not watching porn, those things, I would still have them, but not that caliber of big as I was watching porn, right? But pornography, sexual content just made it a lot worse. Yeah, talking with girls and people in general was fucking tough, bro. Um, what can I even say more? Saying some stupid shit, not like talking with girls was hard because for most of the time I was basically scared to talking to a girl because I was afraid to say some stupid shit, just make conversation awkward. But when I even tried, just got the balls to do it, I just made fucking conversation awkward. I had problems. I had problems looking at people, eye contact. I was literally ashamed of what I've done and thought that people knew that what I did. So to summarize it all, porn was one of the reasons why those 5 points even exist. Because there were many reasons, my shit physique, my lack of confidence, um, my shit habits, and all of those things, right? Those were the reasons. Porn is also one of the reasons why those I had problems with those things. Um, so thank you guys so much for watching. Remember about links in the description, right? Again, subscribe, leave a comment, like notification button with subscription. But yeah, stay hard, boys, because nobody will save you. The only person who can save you is the person I'm pointing right now. Peace out.